The two men killed as they floated holding on to their capsized boat in a secondary strike against a suspected drug vessel in early September did not appear to have radio or other communications devices, the top military official overseeing the strike told lawmakers on Thursday, according to three sources with direct knowledge of his congressional briefings. As far back as September, defense officials have been quietly pushing back on criticism that killing the two survivors amounted to a war crime by arguing, in part, that they were legitimate targets because they appeared to be radioing for help or backup, reinforcements that, if they had received it, could have theoretically allowed them to continue to traffic the drugs aboard their sinking ship. Defense officials made that claim in at least one briefing in September for congressional staff, according to a source familiar with the session, and several media outlets cited officials repeating that justification in the last week. But Thursday, Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley acknowledged that the two survivors of the military's initial strike were in no position to make a distress call in his briefings to lawmakers. Bradley was in charge of Joint Special Operations Command at the time of the strike and was the top military officer directing the attack. The initial hit on the vessel, believed to be carrying cocaine, killed 9 people immediately and split the boat in half, capsizing it and sending a massive smoke plume into the sky, the sources who viewed the video as part of the briefing said. Part of the surveillance video was a zoomed-in, higher-definition view of the two survivors clinging to a still-floating, capsized portion, they said. For a little under an hour, 41 minutes according to a separate U.S. official, Bradley and the rest of the U.S. Military Command Center discussed what to do as they watched the men struggle to overturn what was left of their boat, the sources said. Navy Admiral Frank Bradley, Center, arrives for a closed-door classified meeting with lawmakers on Capitol Hill on Thursday in Washington, D.C. Navy Admiral Frank Bradley, Center, arrives for a closed-door classified meeting with lawmakers on Capitol Hill on Thursday in Washington, D.C. Andrew Harnick, Getty Images. Ultimately, Bradley told lawmakers he ordered a second strike to destroy the remains of the vessel, killing the two survivors, on the grounds that it appeared that part of the vessel remained afloat because it still held cocaine, according to one of the sources. The survivors could hypothetically have floated to safety, been rescued, and carried on with trafficking the drugs, the logic went.